Thokozani, 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 Thokozani.
Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If it's not your first time, short up was but if it's your first time, welcome to my channel. Hopefully you too will get to be part of the family by liking, subscribing and commenting down below. Oh, but Tunana, I do apologize for the inconsistency. As I have communicated, I have issues with a device. So whenever I get a chance to shoot, I make sure that I make the most of that opportunity. So I was here at the station and I happened to come across a device and Usiba check him out on TikTok. Was like, okay, no, sure, I could lend you my device and you could shoot. And so today's video is actually featuring a story time, but basically I am touching on the fact that do our churches actually embrace our culture? And so I thought, why not shoot a video that will be based on my experience. So it was in February, I think, yes. So besivula inkonzo ye guild, right? And so it was like a spiritually reviving or fulfilling weekend. And so on Sunday, safika ke enkonzweni kwacula kwadumiswa, but ingoma ibingadibani. And so whenever there is imimoya mna ndiyadineka, ndiyasindeka ngokwasemoyeni. And so what I did was I took a bottle of water and I started praying. However, I do not think that people around me or everywhere else were cognizant of the fact that I was actually praying for the water. So I did a silent prayer and ndakhuleka. And so after that, I had contained it in for so long that I just couldn't anymore. But at that time, I'm laughing now, but at that time I was saying mini prayers as in the cheesa. So the cheesa, around Ikawa yonke. And I didn't actually notice whether people were comfortable or not, because I feel like in order for me to actually enjoy the service. And yeah, what a service. Now, after the service, I went back home, and so I think my family also hasn't come, to terms with what happens to me. So they too are asking me, Asba, Aibo girl, was there really a need for you to do that? So I told them my side. And then on Monday, I was at the station. I received a call from my minister. And so I was like, hi, he's like, hi, ndiyaphila kunjani kuwe? I'm like, no, ndiyaphila. So he's like, okay, ndiva kuthiwa wena utshize abantu ngamanzi ecaweni. So could you tell me your side of the story? And so fine, I did. I told him what had happened. And then he was like, I understand, but. And so I think for me at that point, after the but, in as much as he was trying to make me understand, at that point I did not really understand, because I feel like since it is Heritage Month, the church is embracing us and come as you are. Obviously, well aware that we come from different backgrounds and we come from different cultures. However, so he was telling me that I should have gone through them first, as to this and this and this is happening, and so obviously ask permission, because there were a lot of people who were uncomfortable with what I had done. And so I think at that moment I realized that, unfortunately, in as much as there are people who are comfortable about ubungoma bethu, as much as there are people who are comfortable about, ubuthandazeli bethu, they are not really learned in that department, in the sense that abanye didn't even know what I had put in that water. Abanye were not comfortable with the fact that, ezi zinto endizenzayo are demonic. And so it actually led me to asking about, our churches actually willing, to teach about African spirituality. Our churches willing to actually help us, in changing perspective. And so I think it made me, sit back, ask myself questions, into bangabana, as a person okhonzayo, and as a person okhonza iwisile, iwisile that has, allow me to say, it has no stand on African spirituality. And so how do I fit in the picture of being umwisile? How then how will I get to be fully comfortable in that setup? Because I think what you guys need to realize is the fact that sukube kukho imimoya iyandisinda. And so I think at that moment it restricts me from being fully functional. It restricts me from fully connecting to uthixo lo bendize kuye, lo bendizo nqula naye and connect with. And so I think that is why you find that in most cases there would be a person who just bursts out ecaweni, ekhala, and then the response of the people, they would get annoyed, okanye, they would look around and cause this, huge scene, bengayazoba mabenzi ndoni, because we haven't really taken the time to sit down and actually educate ourselves. And at that moment you'd find someone okhuphukelwe lidlozi ethandazelwa. I am not against that. However, you need to realize that there are various ways to communicate nedlozi xa likhuphukile. And so to me at that moment I had neglected everyone else, and I had realized that what was needed for me was to connect with my inner spirit, was to connect with ezi zithunywa that were inside me, ndizicenge, ndizithandazele, and try to ukukhulula ibandla. And so I think what we neglect as well is the fact that when we come into ecaweni, right, there are imimoya ehlukeneyo. I do not want to be fully open, because this might be offensive to abanye abantu, and they might find themselves saying into bangabana mina ndiyabajola, but there are imimoya. And so I think the minute eza alarm bells zethu ring, you understand, that is where we become amahlanya. That is where we are unable to control ourselves. Sesizama ukuzicontrola. So I think, when discussing such issues, there needs to be a level of sensitivity from kwelinye icala as well, a level of understanding into bangabana. It is not as simple as me finding myself going up to umfundisi and be like, Mfundisi, I can no longer function anymore because kukimimoya midaka apha ecaweni. Therefore, may you please allow me the space soba ndikhuleke. Because sometimes it's not really even about asking for permission. It is not about you going in contact with someone else because you do not know esasimo salam. So the minute I go to umfundisi and the minute I'm like, Mfundisi, ndicela ukukhuleka, and the response that I will get is just 5 more minutes because there is something else we need to do before sienze le yakho, my spirit will not receive me well. So I think from my side, I understand fully that not everyone is educated about lo mhlaba wethu. Not everyone is comfortable about lo mhlaba wethu. And so I think you know, from my part, knowing very well that ndikhonza ewisile, I thought about myself and I did what needed ukukhulula mna at that very moment and forgot about abanye abantu. But it led me to thinking that then I think it is time for our churches to actually be accommodating. You know, they need to, you know, to not just be comfortable with where we are now. And I think there are so many, you know, spiritual beings we see, and you'd find that most of them aren't even going to church anymore because then they feel that they aren't received well, or they feel that the church is not doing enough. And so I think I urge you at home watching this video that you too go out more, read more about certain things that really happen to us. And so I think the sad thing from my side was the fact that I'm conflicted as to ukuchinja ndihambe ndiyokhonza eZiyoni, you know, knowing fully well that eZiyoni once kukhuphuka umoya, they will know that instead of kumiwe kujongwe kum, they need to keep, you know, playing the drum so that I am able then to detect umoya around me and I am able to fully exercise what it is that I'm meant to exercise at that moment, or stay ewisile and continue to shut myself down, and whenever la moya efika ndizicime. So I think when we say we celebrate Heritage Month, when we say we celebrate Heritage Day, you know, that is a time to actually teach ourselves about different cultures, teach ourselves about different traditions, so that when we find ourselves in spaces, or when we find ourselves faced, you know, with similar circumstances to mine, we have a level of understanding, we have a level of sympathizing, not only sympathizing, but we have a level of actually empathizing with those parties. Because I know for a fact that ukuvukelwa ngumoya is not something nice. Knowing fully well that there are people uncomfortable around you, knowing fully well that there are people who are constantly demonizing you throughout the process, not understanding how physically, I don't want to say draining, or how physically, what's this word? I don't want to say demanding, but like umoya wako, like uyayiva, and so unfortunately it's not something that you can say emntwini ba I wish nawe ungazuyive lento ukuze, you know, you fully understand what is happening to me at that moment. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below. On Facebook, Athi-Lilitha Tyumbu. On Twitter and Instagram, I am @_Athi-Tyumbu. So please do tell me what you think, because I honestly love hearing from you guys. And I've got a great giveaway. I say it again and I will say it in my next video. The giveaway, and if you get 2K likes, has the potential to actually change your life. You know, it's got the potential, hey man, to change her dieting. Assurance. But please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. I honestly love your support, and thank you for tuning in. Thokozani.